And Gibbs-White's got room to charge into. Through the Wolves half he goes with Elanga to his right. Here is Elanga just inside the box. Back to
yes!
He's done it already! Gibbs-White scores! He was allowed to run forward through the Wolves half, fed it off to Elanga. Elanga gave it him back, and he stands with his hands in his ears in front of the South Bank. I can't hear you, he says. Morgan Gibbs-White returns to Molineux and takes 6 minutes to get Forest ahead. As soon as Elliot Anderson found him inside his own half, you could see the space he had to run into, and that's when Forest and Gibbs-White are at their most dangerous. Elanga fed it back into him, and he swept it home from about almost the penalty spot of normal time at the end of the first half. Sells away down the left-hand side.
Go on, run.
Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi's nodded it past Doherty and into the penalty area. Tight angle, lays it
yes!
back. It's two. Brilliant play from Callum Hudson-Odoi down the left wing. He's nodded it away from his man, chased after it, beaten Matt Doherty, hit the byline, centre over a low pass into the penalty area for the hitman, Chris Wood, 12th goal of the season. He wasn't going to miss that opportunity, laid on a plate for him by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Great ball out from the back from Sells. Hudson-Odoi was brilliant, and his low ball found Chris Wood, and Wood gleefully sent home his 12th of the season. Forest second of the night. Bellegarde knocks it into the penalty area. Milenkovic thumps it away, and Taiwo Awoniyi and Callum Hudson-Odoi go chasing after it, and Hudson-Odoi's got it, and Hudson-Odoi rolls it to Awoniyi. It's gone past him. This is Ward-Prowse. He squares it for Taiwo Awoniyi, and Forest have a third in the 4th minute of added time. And Taiwo Awoniyi, who's had to be so patient and play second fiddle to Chris Wood all season long, gets his first goal of the season. In the end, it's a tap-in from about 4 yards out, set up for him by James Ward-Prowse, who himself was found by Callum Hudson-Odoi on the break, deep into stoppage time. It's Wolves 0, Forest 3. 7 gone 0-0. Van Dijk heads it back into the Forest half. Elanga, though, heads this one on after Milenkovic won it. Anderson can't control it. Hudson-Odoi tries to win it and has done. And he sends it forward to Elanga. Elanga forward for Wood. Inside left channel. Great shot! Yes! Forest are ahead! It's Chris Wood! The first time they've remotely threatened the Liverpool penalty area. And Wood scores a 13th goal of the season and gives Forest the lead after 8 minutes. Liverpool sliced apart as Hudson-Odoi found Elanga, and Elanga fed in Wood inside left channel. Bang! 1-0 Forest, 8 minutes in.
Well, that's the way you counter. And Liverpool, although that was coming, they just lost the ball in a bad area. Elanga caught the ball straight away, probably about 35 yards from goal, right hand side, ducked inside onto his left foot and slid a beautiful ball through to Chris Wood inside left position. I'm not sure where Alexander Arnold had gone, but there's a huge gap where he should have been, really.
With almost like a 5 or 6 at the back and take away our...
Here's Anderson breaking forward
to
the box, and he fires it in from just outside the penalty area. Elliot Anderson scores a first Forest goal. He goes across towards the A block to celebrate, and the rest of the Forest players go across to join him. It's taken Forest until the 11th minute, but it was a lovely surge forward from midfield from Elliot Anderson, who saw the opportunity and from just outside the penalty area hit it low and hard beyond the outstretched right hand of Aaron Ramsdale. Elliot Anderson's first goal for Forest. It's Forest 1, Southampton 0.
Great.
Bree for Bednarek again, miscontrols it, and now Hudson-Odoi takes over. Top of the D, Hudson-Odoi, right foot shot, yes! 2-0 Forest. Callum Hudson-Odoi, right-footed, usually has more of an angle than that, but from straight on, from just outside the D again, just like Elliot Anderson earlier in the game, he's beaten Aaron Ramsdale from distance. Mistake at the back, punished again by Forest. A throw, Elanga takes quickly, infield to Gibbs-White, got some space, finds Wood 30 yards out. Wood turns it away to the right for Ola Aina once again. Jota down the line, Aina goes for the early cross.
Yes.
Wood's header,
Yes,
3!
Wood.
It's Chris Wood again! Beautifully placed header from Ola Aina's cross. He was a good distance out, Chris Wood, but he still steers the header wide of Aaron Ramsdale, who's beaten to his right for a third time in 41 minutes. It's Chris Wood's 14th goal of the season. Aina with the perfect cross, Wood with a beautifully steered, directed header. And it's Forest 3, Southampton 0, 4 minutes before half-time.
Like you say, with the low bar, hang on.
Oh, good ball, Danilo, right-hand side, gives White in space, hits the penalty area, low,
Yes!
in goal! It's deflected in off Lewis Dunk. It's an own goal and Forest are in front, 12 minutes in. Lovely pass from Danilo to get Morgan Gibbs-White away, and he went arrow straight, diagonally into the penalty area from the right wing. And then stuck a low ball in across the 6-yard box. And Lewis Dunk stuck out a leg, and it rolls inside the far post to give Forest the lead after 12 minutes. Minte's challenge means Forest have this corner, which Elanga's going to take from the left-hand side. Near post.
Yes!
What a header! Morgan Gibbs-White, flashing header near post. Bullet-like into the top of the net. Across the face of goal, 2-0 Forest. Gibbs-White made the first. And running across the near post, he scores the second. It's his 5th goal of the season. It's Forest's second of the afternoon. 25 minutes in, a fizzed, whipped-in corner from Anthony Elanga, and Gibbs-White with the run, and perfectly timed header.
And they can't get near him at the moment.
He's driven this down the right-hand side to Ola Aina well forward, and he's found Elanga. Elanga gets away from Lamptey right-hand side. Wood's header.
Yes!
If Wood is onside, it's 3-0 Forest. Elanga's cross, Wood with the header at the back post. He was all on his own. And he's headed it down and in. I just wonder if he was offside. I'm not sure. Lewis Dunk might have been playing him on at the near post. VAR will have a look. Forest are celebrating. The assistant referee certainly kept his flag down. Chris Wood at the moment has his 15th goal of the season. And Danilo across halfway for Elanga, who's on the turn and running at Lewis Dunk. Towards the edge of the penalty area he goes. Now tries to beat Dunk on the outside.
Yes!
Wood from 1 yard. Taps in. Elanga makes it again. Superb assist from Anthony Elanga. Forest are 4-0 ahead. After 63 minutes. It's another goal for Chris Wood. 16 for the season. And so many of them created for him by Anthony Elanga. That was so quick down the right-hand side, took on Lewis Dunk on the outside, hit the byline, pulled it back low, and there's Chris Wood, a yard out for a tap-in. Forest 4, Brighton 0. Chris Wood, Trent End, runs up now, right foot, low into the corner, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and celebrates with his teammates in front of the Trent End. Another hat-trick for Chris Wood, and Forest have 5. Oh, here they go again, Forest. This is Awonyi, right-hand side of the penalty area, takes his man on, shoots, blocked, comes out for
penalty.
He's pushed.
Yes!
Scoops it into the top corner of the net. Forest had 4 or 5 goes at it. Brighton are determined that should be ruled out for handball, they say. Nico Williams eventually, it fell to 6 yards out to hammer it into the top corner of the net to give Forest potentially their 6th goal of the afternoon.
Yellow card to the keeper.
Bruggen has been booked for his arguing the case. If there was a handball in there somewhere, then presumably VAR will have a look at it. But Nico Williams has scored what he thinks at the moment is his first Premier League goal of the campaign on top of it. So presumably they've just felt... Oh, it's given away by Verbruggen to Jota Silva. Jota
Yes!
7-0! Jota Silva fires low into the net after Verbruggen presented it to him on a plate inside right channel. And just a minute after Nico Williams makes it 6, Jota gets his first Premier League goal and puts Forest 7-0 ahead of Brighton. Forest 7, Brighton 0. What a comeback from last week at Bournemouth. Extraordinary scenes at the City Ground. There's still 8 minutes of added time to go. Then Anderson backwards for Murillo. Murillo into the feet of Gibbs-White. Did very well to control that and hold off the challenge, and now spins it forward towards Chris Wood near the edge of the penalty area. Wood's got the ball and finds some space and curls it into the corner, and out of nothing Forest are level. Second best for 36 minutes, but Chris Wood gets a first sight of goal and buries his 18th goal of the season. Nadoy has picked the pocket of Murphy and shoots from a long
Yes!
There is it!
There you go.
Low into the corner. Hudson-Odoi takes it off Jacob Murphy in Newcastle territory, ran centrally, and from about 5 yards outside the penalty area, just looked up and measured his shot. It curled away from Nick Pope, low into the bottom corner, and 6 minutes in, with their first real attack, Forest are in front. Murphy beaten in the tackle by Hudson-Odoi, who did everything himself, went on, looked up and put it low into the corner. Fabulous goal from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Corner at the Gallagher end. Anderson, right-footed corner, near post. Elanga got the flick, it comes to Wood, back post.
Yes!
Milenkovic back heels it in, and Forest have a goal back. It's Nikola Milenkovic who scores 18 minutes into the second half. Anderson's corner, Elanga's flick on at the near post. Wood recycled it beyond the back post, sent it back into the 6-yard box, and Nikola Milenkovic was there to pretty much backheel it in.
He's definitely on tie, it's a goal.
He's onside, that will stand. Elanga sends Hudson-Odoi away and takes the corner near post, and that flicks out towards Gibbs-White. Hits the shot, and then it's tucked in off the rebound by Ryan Yates. Forest have scored again as we approach the 90-minute mark. It was shuffled towards goal by Gibbs-White. It was deflected out straight to Yates, and from close range.
Yeah, how's a 3?
Ryan Yates has bundled home Forest's third goal.
Seems to look shattered, ain't it? But he's put a lot of graft in.
Gibbs-White, what a ball that is, right wing for Hudson-Odoi. Brilliant from Gibbs-White. Hudson-Odoi into the penalty area, right hand side.
Yes!
Near post and scores!
Yes!
Callum Hudson-Odoi puts it into the near post, and Forest lead Manchester City 1-0 with 7 minutes to go. A brilliant crossfield ball from Morgan Gibbs-White. Picked out Hudson-Odoi, who ran into the penalty area and right-footed went near side. Beat Ederson in front of the Trent end. Forest 1, Manchester City 0. 7 minutes left. Hudson-Odoi's 5th goal of the season. Brilliant from Forest. From the right, out swinging. In it goes now towards the penalty spot area. Greaves heads it away. It comes out 20 yards out for Hudson-Odoi. Crosses back deep for Dominguez to head it back across the face.
Yes!
And it's volleyed in by Nikola Milenkovic. Milenkovic scores, and Forest hit the front 10 minutes before half-time at Portman Road. Nikola Milenkovic absolutely crashed that in, as it fell nicely for him inside the 6-yard box, just sat up right in front of him, and he belted it home. After the cross from Hudson-Odoi after Elanga's initial corner, Hudson-Odoi's ball back across to the back edge of the penalty area for then Anderson with the early ball forward to Elanga, and Forrester stretching Ipswich again, 3 against 3. Elanga into the penalty area, shoots!
Yes!
From corner, 2-0! Anthony Elanga scores for Forest, and they lead Ipswich Town by 2-0 with 2 goals in 2 minutes. 2 minutes after Milenkovic gets his 4th of the season, so too does Anthony Elanga. Well won by Dominguez in his own half, fed forward early by Anderson, and then it was 3 against 3, and Elanga cut in from the right-hand side and curled one low into the far corner. Looking back towards Sells, Liam Delap is lurking. Milenkovic instead opts to clear up towards Chris Wood. That's gone over Wood and Wolfenden, and Elanga's in again to the edge.
Yes!
Straight over Wolfenden's head. 1 ball down the middle. and Anthony Elanga onto it, running centrally from the edge of the penalty area, slots it past the goalkeeper, and Forest have got 3 at Ipswich. They've scored 3 in 6 minutes, 2 of them for Anthony Elanga after Milinkovic's opener. That was a horrible goal from Ipswich to give away defensively, just over the head of Wolfenden and Chris Wood, who are both challenging for it. Elanga just gambled, ran in behind them, got the ball and slotted it low past the goalkeeper from the edge of the penalty area. Little flick off a defender, and then Yates heads it away towards Awoniyi, and Awoniyi has held that up beautifully, and then Yates with a lovely ball to Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White and Jota, 2 against 1. Gibbs-White for Jota. Jota shoots!
Yes!
Morgan Gibbs-White finds Jota on the breakaway. Lovely pass forward from Ryan Yates. And Awoniyi involved in the build-up as well, held it up beautifully, and then Yates pinged the ball forward towards Gibbs-White, and 2-on-1, Gibbs-White for Jota, and Jota fires home low past Alex Palmer, and thousands of Ipswich fans head for the exits, and Forest lead by 4-1.
A centre-half, third centre-half.
Yates has headed this away from the penalty area, and Elanga's chased after it and gets to it, and is racing through the United half with Gibbs-White to his left. Elanga goes on, and Elanga scores! Oh, what a goal for the former Manchester United man! Magnificent from Anthony Elanga, who ran from inside his own half, and all the way had Gibbs-White to his left, and he decided not to bother. Elanga scores against Manchester United. Not much of a celebration for him, to be fair, as his teammates go and surround him. But what a goal! They had no answer to his pace. From Ryan Yates' defensive header out of his own penalty area, Elanga did the rest. Absolutely devastating from the side of his right boot, left-hand side to Williams. Williams taking on Dizazi once more. Fires in the low ball, and it's Jota who turns and scores! Jota gets Forest on the board and gets Forest back in the game. 2-1, they've deserved it for the start of the second half. We're in the 12th minute, down the left-hand side, and it's Anthony Elanga to take from the right-hand side. It'll be a right-footed, out-swinging corner. 0-0 the score, in it goes near post, doesn't beat the first man, but it's a glancing header, and Anderson drives, and Forest are in front. Deflected on its way through, but Forest have got the lead 4 minutes in. It wasn't a convincing corner from Elanga, but the header away from the near post was even less convincing, and it fell to Anderson on the edge of the penalty area, and Elliot Anderson bangs it in, and inside 5 minutes via a deflection, Forest are ahead at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Good night to take the lead, good night to go in front, and Forest have done exactly that. As Murillo rolls it down the left-hand side for Elanga, wide left position, back onto his right foot, crossing now towards Wood, that's in, that one will count. Chris Wood with a header, rose above the goalkeeper Vicario from Elanga's cross, and Forest are 2-0 ahead, and Chris Wood does have his first goal since February. He moves on to 19 for the season, and it's Spurs 0, Forest 2. Murillo with the clever free kick, rolling it down the left-hand side. Elanga turned onto his right foot and crossed right onto the head of Chris Wood, who jumped in front of Vicario and deftly sent it into the Spurs net. Footed out-swinging corner, headed away as far as Nico Williams takes a touch, hits and deflected in by Murillo. Murillo gets a touch, and it flies in off the Brazilian, who scores for the second time in his Forest career. He almost scored a spectacular goal here at Selhurst Park last season. Well, it's nothing like as spectacular as that this time around. Nico Williams' shot deflected in by Murillo, and it's 1-1. Murillo celebrates in front of the Forest fans. To take. In it comes now, and Gibbs-White heads in! Morgan Gibbs-White gets the equalising goal! It hasn't taken Forest long. 9 minutes after they went behind, the free kick from Anthony Elanga, and Gibbs-White rose 6 yards, deft header, and Forest are level against Leicester City. Gibbs-White's 6th goal of the season, celebrates by tucking a ball under his shirt and sucking his thumb. I think we all know what that means. Second half anyway. Here's Aina for Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White looks up, delivers a ball to Chris Wood.
What a
goal! Morgan Gibbs-White with a beautifully delivered pass over the top, and Chris Wood running onto it, steers his header beyond Stolarczyk in goal and puts Forest in front, and in doing so notches his 20th goal of the season. Chris Wood scores, Gibbs-White assists, Forest lead Leicester by 2 goals to 1 and have a foot in Europe for next season.
Brilliant header.
But he certainly was dragged down a little bit. And certainly his shirt was tugged. That's given away. And Morgan Gibbs-White fires home. Alphonse Areola just laid the ball straight to Gibbs-White, 16 yards out. And Morgan Gibbs-White scores for Forest after 11 minutes. Gibbs-White scores, immediately goes across to get a Taiwo Awoniyi shirt, which he holds up now in the corner here at the London Stadium. He gives that Taiwo Awoniyi shirt a kiss, having been gifted the ball by Alphonse Areola as Alanga prepares to take the free kick. In it comes from Alanga, right-footed, fizzed in, goal! Gibbs-White again, I think, with a touch at the near post. If there was any touch, it's Gibbs-White. If not, it's Alanga. Fizz delivery from the left-hand side, right-footed, and curls into the net. I think Morgan Gibbs-White might have got the faintest of touches. Milenkovic maybe as well is in there at the near post, and he seems to be getting some congratulations. Corner from the left-hand side. And Elliot Anderson is the man who's gone across to take it. Anderson curls it in, high towards the back post. Wood goes up in the back post.
Yes!
For him again! And he's volleyed it home! Chris Wood off the mark, only 5 minutes into the season, and Forest are 1-0 ahead. Delivery to the back post was headed at first by Wood.
Yeah, nothing planned at all really with that. Just a ball stuck into the penalty box. The big lads went for it at the back stick. The ball bounced down perfectly for Chris Wood.
For
trouble.
Coyote. Oh, what a ball that is! First time from Anderson. Chris Wood takes on his man and scores.
There's trouble.
Now, was he onside? It's 3-0 at the moment. If Chris Wood is onside.
I didn't foresee a 60-yard pass straight down the middle of the pitch, all the way on the ground. With perfect weight on it into the path of Chris Wood.
Anderson now 30 yards out. Now Gibbs-White, corner of the penalty area. He's jinking away from Coyote and then turns a cross over towards him.
Yes!
And the Swiss £35 million man heads in. A diving header from Dan Ndoye.
And that's saying something, because Anderson's been superb, Sangari's been brilliant as well. But Gibbs-White been head and shoulders above the rest. Got the ball on the edge of the box. It was a close call, but he's definitely onside for me. Dan Ndoye. Gibbs-White has the ball edge of the box, being forced backwards, but then told to spin around. He spins around.
Murillo clears long towards Ndoye. Up against Chris Richards, he's done well, Ndoye, and then feeds it forward towards Hudson-Odoi, and Hudson-Odoi is clean through inside right channel.
Yes,
scores.
Henderson
gets a toe to it, but that only deflects it into the top corner. Fabulous ball from Dan Ndoye to release Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he was through beyond the last defender and fires home via the goalkeeper's legs into the roof of the net. And Forest are level 12 minutes into the second half. Hudson-Odoi from Ndoye. It's 1-1 at Selhurst.
Hudson-Odoi from Ndoye. I'd rather you say that than me. But what a pass from Ndoye. I don't know if he meant it or going to see Chris Wood's feet. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he saw Callum Hudson-Odoi there. But what a pass. And a great run from Hudson-Odoi. He just took it. Tarek Mitchell couldn't get back at him. He was too quick. And he's just gone near post. Dean Henderson probably not going to be happy with that, but who cares? Hudson-Odoi there with a nice little finish. Forest back on level terms. Forest in the ascendancy now.
1-1 at Selhurst. They would just have had a quick look at the potential offside because of Hudson-Odoi's timed run, but I think one of the centre-halves first couple of minutes, just after the minute mark, and Ndoye starting on the left, Bakwa on the right, and straight away into the game.
Yeah, that's a great start from Forest, and as you said, Burnley playing with the 5 at the back, which is given space and time in the midfield and a lot of possession for Forest in the early minutes of the game.
Douglas Luiz is a man who's going to take the corner. Early corner for Forest, 90 seconds played. It's from the left-hand side, right-footed, in swinging, and gets all the way towards the back edge of the box and driven in by Nico Williams. Well, it may have taken Liverpool 95 minutes to break Burnley down. It's taken Forest 2. The corner was not dealt with by Burnley. It was allowed to travel a long way, and it bobbled out to Nico Williams just inside the penalty area, and he's crashed it via a deflection into the roof of the Burnley net, and Forest are a goal ahead as Williams scores his first of the season, and we're only 2 minutes in at Turf Moor.
Oh, what a great start and a great strike from Williams there. You rightly say that, Colin. It was a lovely corner in, and Burnley didn't really deal with it. And they didn't have anybody who's actually on the edge of the box, Burnley, so the ball's rolled out to Nico Williams, and as you said, he's run up to the ball, smashed the ball right-footed, and it took a slight deflection, but the pace and the accuracy, it smashed right in the top corner, giving the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever. A brilliant start.
And reward for Forest's first attack. Zinchenko's ball down the left and pings a ball out to the right wing. Super ball, and Ndoye gets it under control near the corner flag. Faced by Dalot. Rolls it back to Yates at the corner of the penalty area. He fires over the cross. Gibbs,
yes!
header! Forest score! Yates with the cross. Gibbs White's header at the Trent end, and Forest are on terms. 3 minutes into the second half. The Premier League scoring drought is over.
Nice bit of patient play from Forest. Yates touches the ball and just a measured cross into the box. For the first time, we've got a quality cross going in. Yates has put it right on the sixpence on Gibbs White, and Gibbs White just pushed it into the corner with his head.
Again, Yates back out to Ndoye, wide right. He's got the chance to cross, flicks off a defender. Jesus heads it down, breaks it.
Yes! Getting there!
Simona's first goal for Forest, and he's fired it in from really close range. The Italian gets his first Forest goal. Forest get 2 in 2 minutes, and from being 1 down at half-time, they lead Manchester United by 2 goals to 1.
Ah, it's brilliant. Again, it's just a simple cross going in the box has caused confusion. Jesus gets up and heads the ball down, and Savona just sneaks around the back of the Man United defence. He just ghosted in there.
He wins the header and finds Savona well forward. He gives it to Ndoye. Ndoye trying to wriggle away from Ampadu near the byline, pulls over across. Perry is
Gets in Sangare.
Straight out to Sangare. Perry parried, and 8 yards out, Ibrahim Sangare scores for Forest. On the hand to fire in side-footed. The rebound after the cross from Ndoye had been parried away by Lucas Perry right into the danger area, and there, just in front of the penalty spot, is Ibrahim Sangare, faced by Goodmanson near the byline, jinking out onto his left foot.
Great
to fire
ball.
over
What
the
a
cross.
ball.
Gibbs White's header, and Forest are in front. Gibbs White scores again with his head. Second week in a row in front of the Trent end. Great ball from Murillo. Diagonal right through the Leeds half. And then Amari Hutchinson skipped out from the byline onto his right foot, curled over the cross, and Gibbs White met it with his head, and Forest lead by 2 goals to 1 midway through the second half. Wonderful from Murillo. Fabulous cross from Hutchinson, and the finish for the second week in a row from Morgan Gibbs White with his head. Forest 2, Leeds 1.
What a ball from Murillo. 2 great balls.
Bang on 90 minutes. Forest leading Leeds 2-1. Elliot Anderson from the penalty spot fires it in. Great penalty from Anderson. Keeper goes the wrong way. Forest 3, Leeds 1. Anderson's first goal of the season, and that is the points wrapped up on a big, big day at the City Ground. Forest heading for their first Premier League win under Sean Dyche. And certainly closing the gap. Corner to come from Elliot Anderson, and it's come back post for Murillo to fire home and put Forest in front at Anfield for a second year in a row. 32 minutes on the clock. Liverpool are behind. Referee Andy Madley is checking with VAR, and Forest are celebrating in front of their supporters. To Anderson, now Dominguez again down the left-hand side. Little ball into the penalty area for Williams, who's away from McAllister and lays it back.
Yes!
Nicolo Savona!
Savona again!
Side foot into the top corner. His second goal for Forest, and Forest's second goal of the afternoon. Good play by Williams and the other fullback with a fine finish into the top corner, side-footed from about 8-10 yards out. 2-0 Forest.
Unbelievable scenes at Anfield from Forest on this left-hand side, and rightly so. Two fullbacks involved in this goal.
Gravenberch, but he cramped up again. The free kick is driven by Murillo, wide to the right for Hutchinson. Hutchinson having a run at them into the penalty area. Chance to shoot. Allison saves. Comes in. Right, it's 3-0. Yes! White scores. Forest are 3-0 ahead at Anfield. Murillo's free kick driven away to the right-hand side, and Amari Hutchinson ran into the penalty area, swayed away from his man, hit the shot with his right foot, and when it was blocked, it came out to Morgan Gibbs-White, who swept it home in front of the Kop and goes on a knee slide with his fingers in his ears away to the far side of the field. It is Liverpool 0, Forest 3. Knocks it back for Yates, and Hutchinson again, chance to run past Hwang Hee-chan. Hutchinson onto his left foot, curls over the cross.
Yes,
headed
get in there.
It's Jesus. This one's going to count. No suggestion of offside this time. And Igor Jesus finally gets his first Premier League goal. 72 minutes on the clock.
What a ball. As soon as it came off his foot, I knew it was going in that dangerous area. He's got a wand of a left foot. He's just dipping just in the middle of the 6-yard line. Sam Johnson's come out flapping, and Jesus has just rised above him. Jesus is so good in the air for his size. He's almost so good because he's fearless.
To say, why aren't you running after this? But, he wasn't, so...
I don't think he was convinced he was going to win it.
No. Oh, it's played out from the back. Sangare nicks it, has to score.
Yes!
Instead it's Hudson-Odoi who puts it in after Vicario knocks it away from Sangare. Spurs trying to play out from the back. They've had an absolute nightmare. Archie Gray caught in possession by Ibrahim Sangare, who went on, saw the ball pushed away from him at his feet by Vicario, but straight to Callum Hudson-Odoi, who has the simplest of tasks to tap in and give it to Hudson-Odoi wide left. Hudson-Odoi taking on Bentancur, twisting one way and then the other, and firing. Oh! It's gone straight in! Hudson-Odoi from wide on the left-hand side! Cut away from his man, beat Bentancur onto his right foot, and it looked very much so as if he's meant every minute of the chip over Guglielmo Vicario and inside the far post. And this is brilliant from Forest. Anderson drives forward towards the edge of the box. He's got Hudson-Odoi outside him. Here is Hudson-Odoi. Jinks away from one. Lays it back for Sangare. Oh, what a hit! What a strike from Ibrahim Sangare, who signs off for AFCON with an absolute perler at the Bridgeford end. He smashed that in from outside the penalty area. Reinders inside the D, but as he tries to turn away from Gibbs-White, Gibbs-White takes it off him and then sways away from Nico as well and plays a lovely ball left wing for Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi, little ball back in field towards Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White, little ball down the inside left channel now for Jesus, who feeds it.
Yes!
And Amari Hutchinson fires it in! What a goal from Forest! City's net. Forest 1, City 1, 9 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, it all starts from the goal scored from Man City 2-3 minutes ago. Ryan is going for a shot, losing the ball, and from there Gibbs White to Hudson-Odoi, move the ball down the pitch. Lovely reverse pass from Gibbs White into the channel for Igor Jesus. I think actually in commentary I shouted the back post, you could see where I was from. That was the pass he had to make. Near post was shut off, but the back post was Amari Hutchinson.